Zach LaVine, a key player for the Bulls, faces a setback as he is sidelined for several weeks due to an injury. The team now grapples with the challenges of filling the void left by his absence. Will the Bulls find a way to navigate this hurdle and maintain their competitive edge? Bad news for Chicago Bulls fans as their star player Zach LaVine is set to miss an extra few weeks of action. The reason? It's a problem with his right foot, which is all swollen and inflamed. Doctors say he needs about 3 to 4 weeks to heal up and get back on the court. This isn't the first time Zach has led to deal with injuries, and it's definitely putting a damper on his game. His past injuries have already affected how well he can play, and this latest setback is making things even tougher for him and the team. Everyone was hoping to see Zach score big and lead the Bulls to victory, but it looks like they'll have to wait a bit longer. In the meantime, the team will have to set up without him and try to keep the momentum going. Let's all send good vibes to Zach for a speedy recovery so we can see him back in action and doing what he does best, making those incredible plays on the basketball court. Get well soon, Zach! Zach LaVine, a star player for the Bulls, is facing a challenging season marked by injuries. This season is particularly tough for him as he is only scoring an average of 21 points per game with a field goal percentage of 44.3%. These numbers are not up to par with this usual performance for the Bulls, except for the reason when he was recovering from an ACL. Injuries have been in 2017 to 18. Injuries have been a major hurdle for LaVine, making it difficult for him to showcase his full potential on the court. Despite his determination, the impact of these injuries is evident in his statistics. Compared to his previous seasons with the Bulls, where he displayed impressive skills and scoring abilities, this season has been a bit of a struggle. It's important to note that everyone goes through tough times, and athletes are no exception. LaVine's resilience in the face of these challenges is commendable, and fans are hopeful that he will overcome this tough season, recover fully, and return to the stellar performance that has made him a key player for the Bulls. The Chicago Bulls have been doing surprisingly well, even when this star player Zach LaVine is not playing. In the first 3 games without LaVine, the team has managed to win all of them. One of the most exciting victories was against the tough Milwaukee Bucks, where the Bulls secured a thrilling overtime win. It's interesting to see how the team is thriving even without their key player. Sometimes when a star player is absent, it can affect a team's performance, but the Bulls seem to be doing just fine. The fact that they defeated a strong team like the Milwaukee Bucks shows that the other players are stepping up and working together. It's not always easy for a team to adjust when a key player is missing, but the Bulls seem to have found a way to succeed. The victories during LaVine's absence indicate that the team has depth and resilience, with players contributing collectively to achieve success on the court. It will be exciting to see how the Bulls continue to perform as they navigate through this period without Zach LaVine. As trade rumors swirl around, things are getting tricky for the Bulls, especially with LaVine's injury adding to the mix. His big 5-year, $215 million contract is like a speed bump for other teams eyeing him. Imagine you are trying to swap trading cards with your friends, and one of your cards has a special shiny feature that makes it extra valuable. That's like LaVine's contract. It's a bit of a hurdle for teams who want to trade for him. Now imagine if that shiny card got a little scratched or damaged. That's kind of what's happening with LaVine's injury. It's like the card isn't in perfect condition anymore, and that makes it even trickier to trade. So the Bulls are dealing with a double challenge. Teams interested in LaVine have to figure out how to handle his fancy contract, and now they have to decide if they are okay with the little scratch on the shiny card. It's like a basketball puzzle that everyone's trying to solve. Despite the setback, the injury's timing is kind of good for Chicago. It's not mid-December and a bunch of players who don't have contracts can be traded. This means the Chicago team might have more chances to talk about trades and make deals. Think of it like this: when a player gets hurt, it's usually bad news. But for Chicago, it's not all bad because this happened right when they can start talking to other teams about trading players. Imagine it's like a store having a big sale, and Chicago is looking to see what players they might want to buy or trade for. The injury is like a silver lining, making this time a bit better for the team. So even though there is a problem with a player being injured, the fact that it's now December and lots of players are available to trade could be a good thing for Chicago. They might find some new players to help the team get even better. Zach LaVine's speedy recovery is super important for the Chicago Bulls. The team really needs him to be in great shape as soon as possible. Why? Well, it's like this. When LaVine is at his best, it makes the Bulls much stronger, and that's a big deal for their chances of getting a really good trade deal. Think of it like having your best player back in the game. When LaVine is playing at his full strength, it not only helps the team win more games, but it also makes other teams more interested in trading for him. Teams want players who are in top form, and LaVine being at his best makes him a more valuable asset for the Bulls. So the quicker LaVine gets back to being his awesome self, the better it is for the Bulls. It's like having a secret weapon that makes the team more powerful and sets them up for a better deal in trades. That's why everyone is hoping for his speedy recovery. It's a game changer for the Bulls. Raises worries about LaVine's long-term contract and warns that waiting too long to trade him might make it harder to find good trade partners. It explains that other teams may face money problems trying to match LaVine's salary, but hopes things will get better in mid-December when more players become available for trade. In simple terms, the concern is that if they don't trade LaVine soon, it could become more difficult to find teams willing to make a deal. This is because his contract is quite big, and not many teams have enough money to match it. However, this is because more players will then become eligible for trade, opening up new possibilities for teams looking to make a deal. So, while there are concerns about the timing of LaVine's trade, there is also optimism that the trade market could become more favorable in the coming weeks. The Bulls are having a tough time on the basketball court lately with a not-so-great record of 8 wins and 14 losses. To make matters worse, they are not even in the top 10 in the Eastern Conference standings. This is a bit of a struggle for the team, and it's got people thinking that some smart decisions need to be made. Now, when we look at what's going on in the whole league, there is some talk about the Bulls possibly trading Zach LaVine. It seems like the team is actively checking out options, and big teams like the Lakers might be interested in getting him. But here is a little spark of hope. The timeline shows that when LaVine is expected to come back, there will be a time when more players from different teams can be traded. This could be a golden opportunity for the Bulls to showcase LaVine's skills to other teams who might want to make a trade. So even though things might not be going so well for the Bulls right now, there is a chance for a turnaround. Keep an eye out for some strategic moves, and let's hope the team can bounce back stronger. Chicago Bulls find themselves in a challenging phase with Zach LaVine sidelined due to injury and a struggling record. The team's resilience in winning games without their star player is commendable, but trade uncertainties loom. The timing of LaVine's injury, coinciding with an expanding trade market in mid-December, offers a glimmer of hope for strategic decisions. Bulls fans equally await LaVine's return and hope for a positive turnaround. Stay tuned for more updates on the team's journey. Like, share, and subscribe for the latest on the Bulls and the evolving NBA landscape.